What's up, everybody? This is Ahmed,
And Lofy.
and this is the Brotherly Love Podcast, episode 12. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. Last episode, I didn't have that much energy. We woke up pretty early,
Yes.
but now it's like, what time is it right now?
It's 8.
It's around
It's not too early.
around 8 o'clock. So it's all right.
It's
pretty
midday
decent.
for me.
So what?
It's midday for me.
How is this midday?
You know, I wake up at about 2:30 in the morning.
Bro, you're psychotic.
I don't wake up at 2:30, but you know.
I try sleeping early.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yesterday?
Yeah, I slept around like 10 p.m. or so last night because I just realized I was like, dang, like this is really messing up my sleep habits and I want to get really right back into routine. So yeah, I decided to sleep like at 10 latest and I was out cold like a light. Yeah.
Like a light. All right, well, fuck your sleep, bro. Let's get right into it. Like
Okay.
A lot of stuff's been happening recently. You know, a lot of conspiracies out there.
Yes.
And we were just talking about this. I wanted to save the conversation for the
Because it was about to get really good.
Yeah, we're about to get into it. But of course, you know about Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes.
And you know, recently, I don't know her, how to pronounce her name, but I think it's like Ghislaine.
Something like that. Her name
Ghislaine?
popped up on Twitter a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to.
Yeah, Ghislaine.
Yeah,
something
see, I don't.
Maxwell.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
Who's like his girl, his sidekick. And she just got arrested. And I asked you before the podcast, I was like, so when is she gonna quote unquote commit suicide? And you were like, yeah, she definitely is. And then the next question I asked you is like, how much do you like actually believe about all this? Like, how do you think that there's an international pedophilia sex ring
Yes.
that's like encompassing or like compromising like the most powerful people on the planet?
Yeah. So let me explain why. This is the reason why I believe it. Now, it's probably outlandish when you first think about
Outlandish.
it. Outlandish?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably
Sorry,
outlandish.
I'm asshole-ish for saying that, but go ahead.
No, you're correcting me. It's all good. It's probably outlandish to even consider. It's like, oh, all these powerful people have a pedophilia ring / sex trafficking ring. But here's the thing. When Black Lives Matter was hot on Twitter, I'm not saying it's not still a thing, but when it was like the number one trending thing on Twitter after the George Floyd death and others that followed, there was a group called Anonymous. Now, first, everyone thought Anonymous was kind of just like this secret group that like don't really speak up about a lot of things and like there might be a hoax, whatever it is. They literally not only took down the Minneapolis website, they interfered with the police radio. They released like top secret documents that revealed that Trump signed an agreement with Epstein to have in a way like a sex trafficking ring with a girl. And it was proven that like Trump raped this woman, Epstein raped this woman as well. And so you're looking at this, you're like, huh? Like, whoa, this is, you weren't really considering it. And like, it got talked about for a few days and then it just kind of got, no one really talked about it anymore because other things were happening.
So the allegation is that Trump raped somebody?
Trump raped somebody and he agreed in a document with Epstein to have this agreement. Like, we're going to have this like.
So you're saying basically like Trump was on one of Epstein's planes. They flew out to his island. Epstein or whoever there got Trump in a compromised situation with an underage girl. Since she's underage, it's considered rape, right? Because she can't consent. And then he's kind of holding this over him, and he came into some agreement with Epstein, like
I don't 100% know if he flew out onto an island and then that's what happened. I just know that there is a secret document that got revealed that showed that Trump and Epstein were in an agreement to have this kind of sex trafficking ring. So ever since then, and I mean, ever since I was even a preteen, like in middle school in the summer, I would always look up Illuminati things. And it seems like real, like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? But like, it was really interesting because you have to really consider like not everything they tell us is the truth. the media portrays the things that they want you to see. So I was like, okay, if they're showing us all this information of breaking news and all these other things that are happening to divide us, right? What's happening behind the scenes? What other news are happening? Like, bro, there is so many like scientific breakthroughs that were never talked about because of what's happening in the US with like in a way it's like a racial divide. You know what I'm saying? There's a racial divide. There is Trump always walling out. There is the media portraying Black Lives Matter as uh, uh, a bad protest, you know, things like that. But I 100% believe there is a sex trafficking ring with elites up, like in not only U.S. but like everywhere.
Okay, so then let me ask you this question, right? Because like this is the part that I don't personally get, right? What's the fascination with like 16-year-old girls?
I don't know.
like
I genuinely don't know.
yo, like I don't get it because like yo, I look at like someone in college half the time, like damn, this chick is annoying. You know what I'm saying? When you start talking to them and stuff, like, and I get it, like they're not over here having like intellectual philosophical conversations with them, like oh, you know, what do you think about the Second Amendment and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's not about that. It's kind of like, what do you think about these titties? Like you know, like it's a completely different thing. So I kind of get it, but even like yo, just being like physically like yo,
she's 16.
bro, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think
Is
there's
that not
never a
nasty?
time. I see we're using 16, right? We don't know the exact age like of whatever these girls who were there, you know what I'm saying, on this island, but just in my mind, like I don't know, like I just don't, bro, I just don't get hard for like it's
just
it just yeah.
It just feels weird. Like I'm 21. It would be hella weird if I started talking to a 16-year-old girl.
Look, I'll say this, right?
Mhm.
Well, talking, yeah, but that's because talking implies that you actually care about what they're saying, right?
Well, no, I'm saying just sexually talking to them. You don't have to necessarily
okay,
care for
smashing,
them. Yeah, like smashing.
like having
that's
sex,
weird.
hooking up
Yeah,
with.
that'd be
Okay,
weird.
you're not really talking. There's
Yeah.
not much talking that's actually
Well, you have
happening.
to talk.
It doesn't sound
You
like
have to
there's much
talk.
talking.
But regardless, like I just never really understood that. But
See, look, if they were like 20 to 25-year-old like supermodels or something like that, I get it.
that's
You know
fair.
what I'm saying? Like,
They'll
because
probably
if you're 60, yo, 22-year-old like woman, bad. She's still bad. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But like 16, like what the fuck? Like
it's very, very creepy. But that's in a way that's kind of what's been happening. Like imagine this. Not even imagine this. This happened literally last year, if I'm not mistaken. There's like 84,000 black girls that went missing,
mm-hmm.
and nothing was ever talked about.
Mm.
And then randomly,
You said 1,000?
84,000 black women.
My guy. Do you like you know, now I know because they always talk about it on the fucking news, but you know, like they say the worst, you know, flu and stuff we had a couple years ago, like 2 years ago, I think, really bad flu season. They said like 60-some thousand people died, right? You're telling me 80-some thousand,
84,000
black women, not even someone else got like abducted, disappeared, whatever, and like
they went missing. And I remember because last year, every single time I was on Twitter, at least 3 or 4 girls would pop up. Oh, this girl is missing. This girl is missing. Do you understand how many cases of either black women, or have you heard the Kendrick Johnson case?
Yo, black women are the queens at hide and go seek.
Huh?
They're the queens at hide and go seek.
What are you talking about?
All of them going missing, bro.
Nah. That wasn't even funny. I'm being dead ass, bro. That was not funny at all.
What's not funny, bro? We're joking, man.
You're joking. No.
Don't be so
I'm not, but we're talking about an issue.
Sure, but you can find the light in every darkness. You feel me?
That's true.
Right,
I guess just for me
whole,
personally, just wasn't funny.
Sure, I mean, not every delivery is gonna be funny, but I'm gonna try.
That's fair. That's fair. No, but did you hear about the Kendrick Johnson case?
No.
Okay. So this teenager in high school, there was camera footage of him. Apparently, he was supposed to be going to class, or I forgot what he was doing, but he ran into one of the gyms. They have like 2 gyms.
Mm-hmm.
He ran into the gym to get his shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I think he forgot his shoes. They found him. You know those gym mats for wrestlers, and they like wrap them up and they like stack them high.
Mm-hmm.
They're like at least like 6 feet tall, kind of thing. They found him stuffed in there, dead. like
Hmm.
he's bloody, all that kind of stuff, and like they've tried to at least like, okay, how did this even happen? How did he die? And at first they're like, oh, it's suffocation, maybe like because he went first down and wasn't able to get up, whatever it is, and he just died from suffocation. After an autopsy, they found that all of his organs were gone.
Damn.
All of his organs were gone. That not only happened to Kendrick Johnson, but that happened as well to I forgot this girl's name, but she was in a hotel party, and the camera footage showed her stumbling towards the kitchen area.
So why is this happening? Let me ask you that.
I don't know.
Hmm. Like, is it like, I mean, 84,000 is a lot, right? Like,
Mhm.
it's a lot of people. Like, is there a lot of other people going too? Like, is this proportional? Do you know the numbers at all? Like,
No,
because
I don't
that's
know the
a shit
numbers.
ton of one specific like demographic. Like, not even just black people, black women. Like, how many black men are going missing? How many Asian women? How many
I have
Asian
no
men?
clue.
Like,
I just know that it was 84,000 black women that went missing.
that's crazy.
No, it's very, very crazy, and I have an idea of why they went missing. It's mainly because it's similar to the movie Get Out, when they were have you seen Get Out?
Yes.
Okay, so when they were taking the black bodies
Uh-huh.
and harvesting them, it's because they had better quote unquote genes or better like organs or whatever it is. So I believe it might, I don't know, bro.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm just guessing. You can check me later, but there is, I have an idea. It's either like a black market kind of ring where they take their organs, or it's a sex trafficking ring. I don't know, but yeah.
I definitely think a lot of it is probably sex trafficking. I
Yeah.
think sex trafficking is a lot bigger than most people realize. And like that's why like for there to be like an international sex ring, like I believe it. You know what I'm saying? Do you want some? You're looking at it kind of heavy.
No.
Um I believe it fully actually that there is, right?
Hmm.
Now, hmm, what I'm trying to figure out I guess is motive. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hmm.
like it's easy to compromise someone for something. So for instance, like if you know someone likes girls who are a little on the younger side, and bro, being completely honest, I keep saying like, oh, I don't understand how most dudes like women around that age. And
Like 16 or 17.
I'm not talking about specifically they like 15-year-old girls, right?
Hmm.
But like I'm saying that like if you were to plot out, different women, say like you got a picture of a woman, you know what I'm saying, from when she was a baby until she was like 50, 60, whatever years old, and you asked a bunch of different guys like when do you find her most attractive, like the mean or median whatever is probably going to be around like 20, 21. Like it's going to be real low. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And like and it's probably like a standard ish distribution, like ish, meaning like there's probably still a good number of people who at 16, 17 gonna be like, yo, she bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, especially if you don't put her age, you just be putting pictures up.
Pictures in the physical body. Because
Yeah.
here's the thing, right?
So,
So it's like what we talked about, where with consent and the legal age of consent, and when people are allowed to have sex. Um, the thing, I'm not like advocating as in like, oh, you should do this. I'm just saying this is like kind of in a way biological. 16, 17, 18 are very developmental years. It's when women start developing a lot more. Now, am I condoning men creepily sliding in these girls' DMs and asking for sexual shit? No, not at all. But you also have to understand, like you said, if I, because I understand, because I remember when I was in high school, like there was girls like my age. I was like, bruh, damn.
yeah, but you were their age.
Yeah, I
You know
was
what I'm
their age,
saying?
but like still, like, but I also understood. I was like, if there was a man that was 25, 26, and he did not know the age, right, and just saw her, he'd be like, oh, she's bad, because of like, so I'm saying, like developmental kind of stages. That's what I'm saying. It's different for everybody.
Sure, sure. I mean, my whole point, the only reason I brought it up is to
Hmm.
say if someone has something like that, for instance, where you realize, like, all right, he likes women, he likes young women, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
He's 50 years old and you hear him saying something about the young girl walking across the street or whatever. You can put him in a compromised situation and then use that as like extortion, blackmail, whatever, right? Especially because like uh pedophilia is considered like irredeemable or something in our society. You know what I'm saying? Which I mean, we can talk about that, as one thing. But regardless, like what I'm trying to figure out basically is you have this compromise on someone. What do you do with it? Like, what are you getting out of the like you being compromised? I've documented it. I have this evidence. What do I have to gain? You know what I'm saying? Is it power? Is it status? Is it money? Like say someone like Jeffrey Epstein, for instance, like dude was already making bank. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
he was in finance. Like he was making money. Now, granted, just because you make money doesn't mean you don't want to make more money. Just
Hmm.
because you have status and fame doesn't necessarily mean you don't want more. So like it could be those things. I'm just interested to see like what is it specifically like? Was it like power plays? Was it like, yo, I want to just have something on, for instance, Prince Andrew, so that I can get the whole. You hear about Prince Andrew?
No.
So Prince Andrew, like Queen Elizabeth,
Hmm.
one of her kids, her and the Duke or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, it's one of their kids named Prince Andrew, and like he's implicated in all this shit. You know what I'm saying? His name's popping up all the time, like in regards to like Jeffrey Epstein and stuff like that. There's a lot of pictures. He was on the plane a lot. You know what I'm
So
saying? Like
they're
they
kind of guessing
hosted,
that he might be involved.
bruh. He hosted mad people at his crib, like Kevin Spacey,
Mm.
Donald Trump, Ghislaine,
Mm.
Jeffrey Epstein. Like they all came to the royal palace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
that's not a good look.
that. See, and this
It's
is what I'm
not a
trying to say
good
is like
look.
if you compromise someone like that, right? All right, cool. Like you kind of got the whole royal family at your feet. You feel me? Because they're not gonna tarnish their brand. So they'll
Mhm.
do anything to protect him for the sake of protecting themselves. Now it's just a matter of what is it that you're trying to get out of him? Is it just the status of being around these sorts of people? Because for real, like it opens the door. Like if I'm hanging around Trump and Prince Andrew, I can hang around anyone. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like immediately invited into any social circle and stuff. So like that could be one aspect of it. It could be money. It could be more nefarious things too, like that we don't know about. Like, maybe there is like some secret operations and people pulling the strings behind the scenes, and they're like, oh, we're gonna plan coronavirus and we're gonna plan this financial crash and we're gonna plan whatever, and maybe he's implicated in one of those quote unquote like deep, state deep web. I don't even know the right phrase for it, but what do they call it? Like Illuminati type people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
When people are like they, when they're like they're doing it, or the government, or the new
Mm.
world order, like maybe they're talking about these niggas, like,
Yeah. I guess.
or the niggas that are telling them to do something, like, cause Ghislaine, she's a spy,
Yeah.
and her pops is a spy.
I don't know. I guess what I'm seeing from it is that when people reach that point of power, now not everyone has to do it. You know what I'm saying? But let's say, for instance, you constantly keep on reaching for more fame and more power. I do think that there is a new world order that's going. Like, I think the new world order isn't what people think it's going to be, where it's like it's a dystopia and it's like communism, whatever it is. No, I think in a way it's slowly starting to happen with technology.
Explain.
So like I think the new world order is like the whole point that that I think it is just like to numb our brains and to not make us think of a lot of things and to not make us question some things. That's where I kind of see the new world order as. Now, these are the really early stages of it, you know what I'm saying, where let's say for instance like social media, right? Social media wasn't really a prominent thing 20 years ago, and there's no regulations on it whatsoever. Um, so when these apps come out and they have very addictive behaviors, and now the new generation, the generation I'm in, Gen Z, is full of depressed and uh, um, unambitious kids. Now I'm not saying all, some unambitious kids. It makes them not want to reach for more than what they can do for themselves.
Let me ask you a question, right? Going back to it,
Hmm.
what is the motive though? Like, why would you do that?
I would say the motive would be to kind of get everyone on the same mental plane of certain things. Um, like let's
Control.
Yeah, like control pretty much, and have people on the same. Like I feel like the whole racial, divide kind of thing. I'm not saying people inherently like already have those ideas in their head, but the media, what media is in other TV channels, news outlets, social media, any type of media is portraying a lot of the racial divide. So it's making them the more that it's been kind of shown in history. If you can get a group of people, and by group of people I mean like the population of whatever country, in a divided state where they hate each other and they're not uniting with each other, then you have control.
I guess like I'm all for conspiracies. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
What I always try to figure out though is like what is the motive or intention or whatever behind it. But what I find too is like when I think about these like international governmental, conspiracies and things like that, like I think there's grains of truth to it all. I think there's a lot of quote unquote coincidences, like with just shit that happens to be, adding up and like this, that, whatever. But I always think too, like people are more dumb than they are organized.
Okay.
So like and that could play into the conspiracy, right? If the majority of people, it's just here's my thing with like large scale governmental conspiracies. I'm not saying that's necessarily one, but when people start talking about like, oh, it was a conspiracy, there was like 10,000 these, scientists and blah 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 blah, and I'm like, bro, you really think 10,000, people were working in sync without like one of these niggas like ever saying something to somebody or showing something or doing or whatever? And maybe that's how the conspiracy forms, is because one person says something and then other people get an inkling into what's happening. Like, yeah, that's possible. But I just don't think that it's like government is that organized. You feel me? Like, bro, niggas be having potholes for years. You know what I'm saying? And the government can't like organize with their workers to fix the pothole at the correct time and work with the right contractors and this, that, and the
There's
third.
time delays. Not everything is as organized as it seems.
It's not about the time delays, it's about the literal efficiency and effectiveness like of organized collectives of people. Like for instance, democracy, like we take democracy for instance, like no, I'm not gonna take it to that level. That's like, well, because what I was saying is like democracy, for instance, is like it's highly effective and highly inefficient system, right? So like you get everyone's perspective on things, which is really effective, right? In making sure that it's effective on one metric, but it's inefficient in other ways. Like it's inefficient meaning that if there's something small that you're just trying to get done, I don't want to ask all 350 million people what the hell their opinion is on if we should fill up this pothole. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I just need to act, like someone needs to just act and take charge and take lead. So like there's a balance between like the authoritarianism to like get shit done and like the democracy side of things where it's like we should allow for other people's input and perspective on things. But the conspiracies on like an international level, I'm with them. I think what's more interesting like is
You
like
support them?
nah.
He supports them. Oh
Come
my
on, bro.
god.
Come on, bro.
All right, my bad. Go ahead.
He trying to throw all this extra shit on me.
Yeah.
I think that they're more like they're more the international like conspiracies like I think that they're more like escapes for people. Like conspiracies in general. You know what I'm saying? Like they're because the thing is I actually think a lot of conspiracies are probably true. You know what I'm saying? The only reason it's a conspiracy is because it's officially denied. But just because something is officially denied doesn't mean that's not factually true, right? But that being said, at the same time, I think that people a lot of times they need an escape, right? So to sit back and like be like, yo, I'm over here working these two jobs, I have these bills I gotta pay, this going on. It's so much easier to just be like they and the government and the world leaders and the Rothschilds, and you just start like you think about people who have money and power and blah blah blah, and you just say that, oh, you know, I'm not quote unquote winning at life, and these people are like controlling the strings to everything that's happening. Where more so, like what I actually believe happens in reality is that, like, what is that quote? It's like, never attribute to malice what can be explained by like ineptitude or something. Like
I
people
never heard that quote.
people are like, instead of assuming like, oh, there's some people behind the strings trying to do stuff to control people because they're evil and shit like that, it's better to just assume like it just happened this way because niggas are dumb.
That's fair in terms of what you're saying, where it's like, oh, I'm working two jobs and I can't do anything because it's the man. It's the okay, that part makes sense where it's like, all right, these niggas are using as scapegoats because they don't have a control in their life. That's understandable. Now, in terms of the international thing, do I believe everyone that is a higher up is involved with this ring of elites
Oh, I
and
wasn't talking about this
I,
specifically. I
I
just
know,
said
I
like,
know. I'm just saying, are part of the elites and are pulling the strings. No, do I believe there's a small group of elites that pull strings slightly? Not necessarily they have dominant control, but they influence a lot of the actions that the media portrays
oh yeah,
or what goes on. 100%,
hmm
100% believe that, and I also do believe maybe it's in the same group, maybe a different group that has the sex trafficking ring. I still believe there's a sex trafficking ring with these elites. Um,
bruh, that's not even like, to be honest with you, I don't even think that's like a conspiracy, a hard take, or anything like that. Like,
mhm,
if you just think about guys in general, right? Bro, let's be completely honest, right? Prostitution's huge here in America. Like,
mhm.
sex trafficking is big here in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't gotta go, to international levels to like understand that, like, and it's not. I'm not on just. I mean, well, it is 95% of the time. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, right? Like, yeah,
Niggas,
because I was gonna be like, yo, people participating, but it's a dude
it's a
picking
dude.
up a chick. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. Like, yo, 95, like this shit is happening here. You know what I'm saying? All the time. Like, and if you get comfortable enough with someone who's in that world, who has experienced it, whatever, like, bro, let's be real for a second. Like, how far, like, is it? You know what I'm saying, bro? We have strip clubs, we have brothels in America. Like, how far is it that people like would pay to have sex with, like, people already do all the
Mhm.
fucking time. You know what I'm saying? Prostitution is the oldest like profession
Mhm.
in essence. Like, people been selling pussy since the Bible ages. Like,
That's facts.
like Jesus was back in the day, like, like, shame on you and shit. Like, but it's like, it's not crazy for me at all to like assume that there's like a sex trafficking ring. And then especially if you throw in on top of it, like, yo, this shit is international, because American niggas are arrogant as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, like American people, so fucking arrogant. Like, when they leave here, they think they're the shit everywhere in the world. A lot of people like that, especially if you're successful in America. Like, you're pretty much successful anywhere in the world because you're rich as fuck. Like, if you're poor in America, you're rich as fuck in 90% of the world. You know what I'm saying? So if you're rich here, nigga, you made it. Right?
Mhm.
And these dudes, like, they go around whatever, like, they literally could get 80-90% of women in wherever place they're going. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even look at these people as humans. They're literally looking at them as sex objects, and it happens all the time. You know what? I went to Panama when I was 18 years old. I don't know if you know.
I remember.
Yeah, I know. I was 19. Sorry, I went to Panama, right? And while I was there, I had a taxi driver, and he took me to a brothel. And while he was taking me there, he was talking to me, about the whole thing, because I was like, bro, what is all this shit? And he was like, yo, I'm gonna come show you. Right? And I was like, all right, cool. I'm 19 years old. I was like, all right, cool. Right? So,
I have so many questions, but go ahead.
go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Ask. Like,
Did you purposely go for a reason?
what do you mean? To smash?
Yeah.
To the brothel? No, I was just there for the wings. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, nigga. Like, I was 19 years old, bro. Like, I was. These are realities of my life. You feel me?
That's fair.
Yeah.
But
So
okay, so you went to a brothel.
yeah, I did.
Mhm.
And I went with my taxi driver.
Okay.
And he was cool ass nigga, bro. And we were chilling for. I would chill with him for hours. Like, we were just talking and shit. And like, one of the first things that he told me, because on one of the first days that I was there, it wasn't him, but it was another guy told me, because at first I was staying near like the Trump Hotel in Panama. right? And then I moved over and started staying in like another part of town. And like he was telling me, he was like, yeah, you know, Trump's doctor, like his dentist or whatever, he was like, he comes here like 3-4 times a year. This is when I was staying near the Trump Hotel. It's like a really nice, ritzy part of town. And he was like, yeah, you know, like Trump's doctor is always staying here, or dentist or whatever. He comes like 3-4 times a year. I always pick him up and like I take him around, I take him to whatever. And he's the first person that told me like about the brothels. And he was like, yeah, you know, and like he always wants me to take him to like these brothels or whatever, like 2-3 times, you know, while he's here. He's only here for like a week or something like that. And he was telling me like, yeah, he goes here, he pays like $1,000, $600, whatever. Like, and he gets, you know, the girl spends the night with her, whatever. At the time, I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I was like, "Niggas spending $1,000 to smash?
You'd
What
be
the fuck?"
surprised.
Right?
You'd be
It was
surprised.
it was blowing my mind. I was like, "Yo, what? Like, this is ridiculous." And this is Trump's like dentist or some shit or doctor, which is crazy because like it might be the nigga who's in the office right now, bro.
Most likely.
Who's, you know, his personal doctor in the White House. Like,
Yeah.
it might be that nigga, bro. but you know, he told me, like, he was telling me about this, and I was like, what? And he was explaining to me like, yo, man, like, you know, it's like, he was like, yeah, you know, in America, he tells him like in America these girls would be like $5,000. So he comes here, it's only like $1,000 and shit, right? And I'm in my mind, I was just like,
How bad are these girls?
there's no girl that's bad enough for me to pay $1,000. I'm not paying $10, my nigga. Like,
Well, you
bro,
obviously smashed. So how much did you pay?
$30. I was
What do you get for $30?
Bro, okay, hold on. First of all, like let me just preface this. Like I said, I was 19 years old.
I know.
I'm a new man. I found God. You feel me?
Okay.
Yo, relax, man. Relax. But this is my reality. I'm just telling you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What did I get? I got like an hour with
Really?
yeah, with this Colombian woman, you know, because a lot of the workers there are like Colombian and Venezuelan and stuff. You know, that experience, like being for real, like, because, you know, I went and then I went again and then I went again. And that
You went
experience,
3 times?
I'm pretty sure I did, yeah.
How long were you in Panama for?
A week. Yes, bro. I was 9. Let me just continue saying this.
I know,
was 19 years old.
I
like-
know. It's just that you're my brother, so it's like when I first hear this, I'm like, nigga, what?
I know.
But-
But,
okay,
you know,
okay.
I'm just telling you, right? Because when I moved here to Richmond, for instance, right, like I started working a lot, you know, like in the area that I worked, like it's not a good part of town. Like there's a bunch of like prostitution that happens there, and it's visible, right? There's prostitution that happens everywhere, but it's mainly invisible. So it's high level. You know, you go to a nice part of town, there's prostitutes everywhere, but they're just walking among us. You don't really realize it. They work as high-end escorts, they work as cam girls or whatever. You know, it's all different
yeah.
forms of like prostitution stuff. When I was working in the hood, like doing, you know, the housing work that I'm doing now, like the prostitution's more in your face. They're women who are literally, they walk by and they ask if they can suck your dick for a quarter, right? And so from when I was in Panama, that's what got me like more recently interested, and I've been working for a while now, like over a year, on this project where I was trying to basically understand like the psychology behind a lot of like the sex workers and like people in that industry and the people who go to them, you know, and all the different things that are related to it. And it's like, it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like it's absolutely like, it's sad. It's so sad. You know, it makes me think a lot about, you know, think back to a lot like those experiences and I'm glad that I did it though, because if it wasn't for me doing that shit when I was 19 years old, then like I wouldn't have come to a place where like now, like I'm pretty much putting together this like almost like docu thing. Yeah, I don't know if it's like a you know, a book or like a photo, you know, journalism type thing, but kind of just documenting like, yo, like, you know, dudes need to stop normalizing prostitution because it's damaging. You know what I'm saying? And on the inverse, like women need to stop normalizing prostitution too. You know, like there's a lot of women who's like, oh, it's her body, she can use it however she wants. And you're right, you know. But do you know all the effects and shit that goes into it? You know, like if I didn't have that experience when I was 19, and when I was 19, I was doing it in the same way that most dudes nowadays. They're just like, oh, what? Like, you're gonna pay one way or the other, like, oh, let me just go have some fun, whatever. And so I did. But as I grew older and I started thinking a lot about like those actions that I made and like the consequences of my decisions, not just limited to how it affected me, but how does this affect them? You know what I'm saying? And like it's sad. Like I said, it's sad because like they're taking this money that you're using and they're going and feeding their kids.
Yeah.
Like literally, like a lot of I mean, I don't know if you know this. You're one of the first people I'm telling, and now I guess everybody else knows. Like I've talked to like dozens and dozens of like sex workers here in Richmond. I have like hundreds of pictures. Like I went to the motels that they stay at. I went to the houses that they stay at. I met their Johns. You know what I'm saying? I saw like I hung around them. I saw how they interacted. I watched them shoot up. Watched them smoke crack. I saw all this shit. Like I see how it's affecting them. Like, bro, there was a girl. There was a lady who was like she was walking like out, doing her prostitution, street walking, like literally out of her room where her son, like she's like, yeah, I work, I take my son to the bus stop out of a motel, right? Takes her son to the bus stop, and then like once he gets on the bus, she starts walking up and down the street, trying to find someone, getting as much, money as she can before her son comes back from school, so that she can use that money to pay for the next day's motel, pay for the food that they're gonna eat, and like all that other shit. And it's just like you're contributing to that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
That's really sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every time I drive by Jefferson Davis or Midlothian, like down
Yeah, yeah.
where
Mm-hmm.
Carnation Street is at,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like you can see like straight up like who is trying to um not necessarily go into that lifestyle, but who is part of that lifestyle. And every time I look at it, I look at it because it's sad. It's not because it's like, oh, like I look at them lower, but I'm like, this is what they have to do
Yeah,
in order to survive. Like this is what they
exactly.
literally have to do in order to survive, and it's sad because
They
it's
don't
like,
know any other way.
yeah, they don't know any other way to make this money. So it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying?
That's all they think they're worth. Sorry to cut you off, but
No,
like
yeah, that's all I think that they're worth.
that's all they think. You talk to them and like they're like, well, why don't you try doing this? Have you tried getting a job? Like whatever, whatever. And like the sad part is, number one, like they make good money.
Mm,
That's one of the saddest things about it. It's like they're making good money doing it, which means that there's a lot of paying willing customers out there for this shit. And then number two is like they don't see themselves or value themselves enough to do something else. Like they're like, yo, what do you like? This is what I do. Like this is what this is how they see their worth. You know what I'm saying? In like whatever they can provide to someone else, like in that way. Not kind of not even, I'm not saying not aware, but they drown out the effects that it has on them by abusing a lot of drugs. And that's why like a lot of those girls I met, like they shoot heroin, they smoke crack. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not light stuff like they drink or smoke weed. No.
they do very hard drugs.
Yeah, because they have to not escape from like the pain of the shit that they're kind of dealing with
They're
on a
literally
day-to-day
giving up
basis.
their body to
Exactly.
provide for their family.
And kind of pretending like it's okay.
There is there is an Instagram post, and it was 3 slides, and it was this woman who was a prostitute in Richmond, and she was like, "Yeah, I got kicked out of my house. I'm a prostitute now. That's how I make my money." Da da da. And so they would always check in with her every 3 months, and every 3 months she would get worse. The next slide, she has a really big black eye because she got beaten. You can tell that she's a little more like frantic, a little bit. She's talking a little bit faster because of the drugs she's taking.
Mm-hmm.
By the third slide, she lost all her weight. She can't go 2 seconds without like scratching her neck. You know what I'm saying? Like she's
Mm-hmm.
really, really in a bad state of mind. And it's like, bro, this is only 6 months
Yes.
of being part of this lifestyle, and like look what happened. It's not, and I don't blame her because I'm saying like she got kicked out of her crib. She didn't know any other way to make money. So I agree that like in general, prostitution should just, I mean, you can't just say like, oh, it should just stop being a thing and then oh, it'll stop. Like you said, like the word normalize that is very trending on Twitter now. To
That
just
word is trending.
stop. Yeah, there's always a tweet that says stop normalizing insert thing here,
Oh.
or normalize blank here.
Oh.
But I think they should stop normalizing the access of prostitution, where it's like, oh, if I want to have fun, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna fuck a girl, whatever. I don't think that should be normal, and I don't think for women as well they should allow it to be normal. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Because like you're way more than just your body. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Like, and I also, but I understand like if when it gets to that point, sometimes you feel like that's your only, your only worth, but you're way, way worth more than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah,
No, I agree completely. Like I think the issue we got to teach women like to have more self respect, more self esteem, like give them more respect so that they have more self respect and like can build up their own self esteem so that they don't even look at themselves in a way that like, oh, I'll allow myself to do something like
yeah,
this.
and I think for men, we should teach them as well. Like, stop treating women as
Oh, for
just
sure,
sex
for
objects
sure,
because
bro.
they're way more than that, bro.
Laura, like I said, number one, like the women would not be out there if they weren't paying customers.
Yeah.
Bro, like a lot of those women I met, like working out of motels, I swear to God, they make more money than me.
Mm.
I swear to God, on a cash by cash basis, they make more money than me. It may not be as consistent, but they may have a night where they hit 100 some, have another night where they just come up on 500. I'm talking about women walking down the street, walking down Jefferson Davis, making $500 sometimes in a night. I'm not saying this is often, but like, you know what I'm saying? There's
Hmm.
enough people out there like willing, ready to engage in this sort of behavior. And I agree, bro. We as men should discourage this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying outlaw it, right? It's the same way though that I feel about like drugs in general, right? It's like don't outlaw it because that's not going to stop people from doing it. If it's legal or illegal, if someone wants to do something, they're going to do it. But you have to educate people and tell them and show them why and like what is the consequences of their actions. And that's why I keep saying like I'm really glad that I had that experience like in Panama because like it was something that could have so easily been normalized. You know, it was normalized. Like that's why I did it. The dude told me he was like, "Bro, this is part of the culture here. Like this is what we do." Cuz it was like a Friday night or something. The first time I got in the taxi with dude, and he was like, "Yo," I was telling him, I was like, what are you guys doing?" So he was like, "Bro, we just go to like, Friday night I'm going to a bar and whatever. I'm going to a club. I'm going to go talk to some girls, maybe pick up one or something like that." I was like, "Bro, take me to where you go." And the brothel that I went to, it was all locals. You know what I'm saying? It was all local guys, like they're like workers and stuff like that, just chilling on a Friday night. All women in there, Colombian and Venezuelan women. We're in Panama, and it's all Colombian and Venezuelan women there, meaning that these women came from Colombia or Venezuela to Panama just to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which, like I said, when you keep thinking about it and when you put it in perspective or context, but it wasn't until I had that experience that like shit started clicking and I was like, oh, okay, like now I see. But it was normalized. It was like, yo, this is what we do. And I was like, all right, cool, so let's do it. And I met up with him the second night there too. He came out with me on Saturday night, bro. And that taxi
Mm.
driver was he
Was he
was
like, oh,
nah, he was cool. Like I said, he was chill, bro. He was mad cool. He came with me the second night. Like he
mm,
hit me up and he was like, "Bro, you trying to go out tonight too?" type thing. And the place was like, it was actually real close to my house. I remember I was leaving like maybe Monday morning or something. So I went on Sunday too, because I was 19 and horny. Like, but now that I'm thinking with my other head, you know, like I can put a lot of this shit into context and understand like the effects that it has. And that's what leads me to believe like, all right, yeah, you are in control of your body, do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? But I know the effects of this. I've talked to enough people. I've been around it enough. Like I'm not new to this shit anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been surrounded by this shit for like 3 years now. I told you I've been writing about it for a year, but I've been around it for like 3 now.
mm,
Like, like so I see all the effects that it has. I just know that it's not positive.
mm.
The only positive effect for the woman is that those 10 seconds at the end when you're giving her the money, and the only positive for you is those
Busting a
15
nut.
seconds where you busting a nut, like right,
Yeah.
right, like other than that, like and that's why a lot of people are, oh, it's just a transaction and stuff like that, and I'm just like, yeah, you're right, but if you think transactions end at the cash register, like you got something else coming your way.
Transactions is all forms. It's in all mediums. It's not just the cash. It's the physical interaction. It's the emotional feeling afterwards. That's why like a lot of times when dudes bust a nut, they be feeling like shitty.
Mm.
They're like, damn. I
Post
just
nut clarity.
bro, it's a real thing.
Mm.
It's a, like I think it's scientifically proven that like with dudes when they release when they bust a nut like like there is a dopamine effect, but for women it's like serotonin, but for men it's like this other thing I forgot what it's called. But pretty much it makes us clarify our heads, and we're just like, wow, I just did that.
Yeah, I mean, and you shouldn't feel that way, in my opinion.
Yeah, we shouldn't.
You shouldn't feel that way. And I think that the only reason people feel that way is because innately or subconsciously there's that feeling of shame.
Yeah.
You know, like when I would have sex with someone and like we were both um like committed to each other, you know what I'm saying? Like when I loved this person and they loved me, I've never felt that before.
Yeah, that's true.
I've never felt post nut like, damn, what the hell did I just do? Like, let me get the fuck out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
only felt that way when I had sex with someone that I probably shouldn't have,
Yeah, that's very, very true.
including my left hand.
Yeah, if I'm like getting head from a different girl or like fucking another girl and I'm not committed to her, it's kind of just like a one smash and you're done. I'll be leaving their crib like or their dorm or whatever. I'm like, well, why did I just do that? I'm like, I need to sit with myself for a couple hours.
Yes.
This wasn't right.
Yes.
But like you said, like if it's someone with I love and I care for, it's like, all right, I'm good. That's cool.
Yeah, bro. If it's someone I care about, like I'm busting the nut and like I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, all right, cool. Like let's chill, let's talk for a bit, and go round two. Right?
Round two? Question mark?
But like if it, like I said, like if it's not, then like I'm trying to get out of it. And that's the thing is like I don't think people like think a lot of like consciously, and it's because it's these subconscious, literally subconscious like feelings and stuff. But they don't bring consciousness to those feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, like yeah, post nut clarity is normal, but why is it normal? And it's normal because most people have shameful sex. You know, most people don't have sex and they like they're I don't want to say they're proud of, because then it makes it seem like, yo nigga, I was putting in work, you feel me? Like, hey, like not like that, but like they're not like, you know, like I think like orgasms and sex is one of the most powerful orgasms is one of the most powerful drugs. You know, like sex is one of the most powerful energy, like forces of energy. Like, and that's why I was researching and talking to so many people, is because I realized this in my own relationships. You know what I'm saying? Just like what you were saying, I realized that sometimes I'd feel ashamed after having sex. And I was like, I thought sex was supposed to be great and fun and amazing, and it is, but why 5 minutes after am I like having all these thoughts running through my mind?
That like you're the most terrible person.
Exactly.
All these things. Yeah.
Exactly.
I learned very, very quick after like I'm a senior in college. So my 3 years in college, I learned very, very quickly that like sex isn't just sex. It's way, way deeper. So when people say, "Oh, I can fuck without feelings," okay. Right. You have something mentally wrong with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have something literally that's blocking your spiritual like chakras, you know what I'm saying? Because you really think that having this exchange of energies between someone, because when two people orgasm, that is the most, like you said, the most powerful energy source. You can literally have a creation. That's how powerful it is. You can make something. You can literally make something alive.
But they be like, nah, it's just sex.
Yeah, it's just like,
nah, we're just fucking.
It's like it's way more than that. It's way more than just fucking. So I really advise people to like at least consider who you're having sex with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand the physical attraction, like, oh, that dude's cute, oh, that girl's cute, whatever it is. I understand it. You know what I'm saying? I go to the same thing. I'm not no higher up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I go to the exact same. Yeah, no, I go to the exact same things. If I see a baddie, I'm like, damn, she bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand. But the consciousness part, you have to really consider and be like, do I really want to do this right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, who do I really want to do this with?
Yeah, man. No, I agree 100%, bro. Like, let me ask you this, actually. How do you feel about friends with benefits?
Oh, that's a very hard question. I've done it before, you know, multiple times. It never really ends up well. Let's just say that, because everyone's like, oh, we can have these boundaries and these rules, you know, but eventually you'll start to realize like, oh, I don't really want to be with this person anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's a tricky thing, because one head is thinking yes, the other head is thinking no, nigga. And then eventually it just kind of fizzles out. So I think people should experiment. But should it be a experiment so they understand? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you tell someone don't do this, they're more inclined to do it.
Yeah,
So like,
same thing, bro. Same thing, like for instance, about the like the brothel, or just to
yeah,
be honest, anything in my life. Like, bro, like I've done a lot of wild shit. Like,
yes,
not just that, but like I've tried a lot of shit. I've done this and that,
yeah,
and I do it because it's the same thing where it's like I need to do it so that I know. But then once I made up my decision, like, all right, cool, like, cause bro, like the same thing with like you've been told since we're little kids, like, yo, don't prostitution is not, you know what I'm saying. But it wasn't
hmm
until I did it where I was like, nah,
oh yeah,
this
this
ain't
ain't
the right,
it.
this ain't the move.
Yeah, I think genuinely that's what it is. But back to friends with
Yeah, yeah,
benefits.
my bad.
No, yeah, you're good. I don't do it personally anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm,
after I realized, I'm like, nah, bro, this ain't it. It's either we're dating or I'm single. That's it. There is no in between.
pretty much, bro.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I agree. Like, I don't believe in friends with benefits, man. Like that doesn't
Yeah.
like, well, cause one, like, what does that mean? That means you were dating. Like,
Literally.
yeah, like what do you mean friends with benefits? What the hell does that mean? Like like what is a girlfriend? It's like your friend happens to be a girl, and that's the benefit. Is she's a girl, so hopefully she wants to suck you off sometimes. And as your boyfriend, the benefit is, sometimes I'm gonna dick you down, like, you know. But like, I agree, bro. Like, I think like it's one of those things that people normalize and whatever because they're trying to skip, like they're trying to skip hard shit in their
Oh
life.
yeah.
So instead of like, why do people go into friends with benefits situations? What happens is one person wants to be in a relationship, the other person wants to have sex. They don't want to be in a relationship. So both people want to have sex. It's just that one of them wants to be in a relationship,
No, there doesn't.
right? The person who doesn't want to be in a relationship needs to be strong enough to say, if I don't want to be in a relationship with this person, then I don't need to have sex with this person. What they end up doing is succumbing to their earthly desires, which we all have, and then they end up saying like, I don't want to be in a relationship with this person, but I want to have sex with them, so I'm going to create this fantasy sort of relationship called the friends with benefits relationship, which meaning that I can fuck you physically and mentally. Right.
Mm.
Because that other person doesn't get what they need out of the relationship. What's the benefit? If I want to be in a relationship with you, right? And what you're offering me is sex, it's like, all right, cool. This is cool, but this is physical intimacy. But where's my emotional intimacy?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a part of this equation that I need that you're leaving out, right? And you're getting what you need, and then you're dipping out, of my crib. So it works for weeks, for a couple months maybe. But in my experience, like I've had a good number of friends with benefits when I was younger. I always want to put all this shit on when I was younger because I'm a new man now. I found God and everything.
You gotta clarify.
Yeah, well, like, I had multiple friends with benefits, and it never worked, and it never worked because they liked me, right, in a way that I didn't like them, and I was too selfish to give that up, right? I wanted the pussy more than I wanted to be honest,
Mm.
right? Or B, I liked them, and they didn't like me in that way. And that one, the first time it happened, not even going front, one of the biggest shots to my ego
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
ever. I was like, wait, you don't want to
like
date me?
Yeah.
Like, you're not trying to date me? Like, and she's like, nah, like she's just trying to smack. And I was like, I was offended, bro.
You were hurt.
Like, I am a great nigga. Like,
You were hurt. Yeah, that was kind of the college lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like especially freshman year, like you'll soon to realize, and I'm not saying this is all college girls, because I know a good handful of college girls that are like they truly want a genuine relationship with somebody, you know what I'm saying, and keep it that way. But for the most part, if a girl is talking to you, you know what I'm saying, like you can tell she's having attraction. She just wants to smash, bro. She don't want nothing else. You gotta just keep it pushing. But I wanted to talk about how a lot of people, like you said, like people want to skip the hardships. A lot of people, and actually this is recent, and it kind of boggled my mind. I was like, how the hell? But a lot of people go from nothing to fucking. So mind you, this is like 10 steps, and they just leap.
what do you mean nothing to fucking?
So like they're just friends, whatever it is, and then instead of or friends, you know what I'm saying, and instead of establishing a friendship at first, they want to fuck. So they immediately go from step 1 to step 10, which is fucking. I'm not saying literally step 10.
You
but
mean
know
like swipe society? Like you hop on like Tinder or some shit?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
pretty much.
you don't
But
even know the chick.
pretty much what I've also noticed, and I've asked people this, and like a lot of people have agreed. And I'm like, I don't understand. They're like, why do we need a kiss before sex? How do you start?
What?
How do you start?
My nigga, you said why do we need to kiss?
People have said that. People are like, why do we need a kiss? Like, ew. Bro, how are we? Nani? What? And that's when I realized, I was like, all right, bro, y'all are just really like, come on, let's get it done, khalas. You know what I'm saying? And I never understood that. I was like, if you're gonna have sex, there's foreplay. You know, there's steps to it, my nigga. There's
Bro,
not
that's
just from
half of sex. Is
literally
foreplay. Like
literally. And that's when my head, I was like, what? I don't understand. So it was really confusing for me. But like I said, after like freshman year or so, I was just like, you know what, this isn't for me. Because I was talking to multiple girls and trying to have that hookup, you know, It doesn't work. It never works. So it's like, oh, did it run out?
Yeah, see, I saw it too, but I was like, I didn't know.
Damn,
I can't read it from here.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, we're almost finished with our episode, regardless. But
Okay.
yeah,
You can finish out the thought.
yeah. But pretty much what I was gonna say is like, people need to be more considerate with who they're sleeping with. That's all.
Yeah. No, for sure. Like that's the one thing is like the person you're having sex with, like they're humans, just like you're a human. Like they have feelings, they have goals, they have ambitions and stuff. Like they're not sexual object. Like if you want a sexual object, go buy a toy. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Go fuck a toy. And if you think that's sad, then like it is. You know what I'm saying? Like develop the emotional intelligence to develop a relationship with someone and then have sex with them if you think having sex with a toy is bad. But like don't negate someone else's feelings so that you can advance your own.
That's facts. I like that. That was a good ending to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This has been Ahmed,
And Lofy.
and this is the Brotherly Love Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hope you guys have a great day.